Now that we have our cameras in our shot, I'm going to look through a different perspective window. So this button here is to have two windows side by side. The camera that I have selected, I renamed it to shot 1. So in my window on the left, I'm going to go to panels, perspective, and look through shot 1. Okay, now in my storyboard, it tells me that my character is waking up from a nap. So I'm going to animate the camera zooming in. Or is it zooming in or zooming out? I think it was zooming in. Yes, okay. So with that camera selected, probably start off a little bit wider. Okay, so zoom out a little bit more. And I think that it was 2 seconds. So 2 seconds is 48 frames. All right, 24 frames is 1 second, and times 2 is 48. So I'm gonna go down here to my time slider, okay, and I'm gonna press S at frame 1, and then I'll click on frame 48 and move the camera to where I want to see. So let me do that. So, right about here. So I'm going to press S again, and I'll click on this window here, go back to frame 1, I'll press play, and it looks like it's going really fast, so actually let me go to Windows, Play Blast option box, start frame at 1, end frame at 48. Okay, and my quality is at 100, the scale is at 0.7, and I'll click Play Blast. Alright, so looks like it play blasted from the wrong perspective window. So let's go back to Windows, Play Blast option box. And I'll try this again. Alright, so let me get out of that window and try this again. There we go. So I kept on doing a play blast from my perspective window that was at this really awkward angle. So this is my first shot. If I press spacebar, this is what I get. All right, nice zoom in. Now if I wanted this particular shot to do an ease in, right underneath the word view, or you click on the word view, select camera, I can now see my keys at frame 1 and at frame 48. So what I'm going to do is go to like 4 frames after 48, so let's say like 44. I'll press S to set another key, and now I'm going to take this key at 44 and then bring it back further. So to do that, you go to Windows, Animation Editors, Dope Sheet, and in my Dope Sheet I can see the keys that I created. So this is my shot 1 camera, this is my frame 1, this is my frame 44, and this is my frame 48. To zoom in and out is just, just use your mouse. So I'll take this shot, the key I set at frame 44, I'll press W, I'll hold the middle mouse button, I'll drag it to the left. Alright, so my ease in is going to start at frame 30 and it's going to end at frame 48. So that's going to be about 18 frames. Alright, so let's go ahead and play it again. Alright, so it looks really fast in my viewport here. It's because I need to change my settings. So Window, Settings / Preferences, Preferences. And underneath the, see, our time slider settings, we want our max playback speed to be real-time 24 frames a second. So now, if I were to play it back in here, alright. So if I wanted that ease in to be a bit more dramatic, I'm going to say delete that key and go to, I'll go back a little bit further. So it's frame 48, and maybe I'll go to frame 30, it's 48, 38. So I'll go to frame 38, I'll press S, I'll go back into my animation graph editor, the Windows Animation Editor's dope sheet, and again, here's my shot 1 camera, here's my camera, my frame 1 is my second and my third key. So I'll take the one at 38 and I'll drag it back a little bit more. So I just moved that shot that was at frame 38 to frame 24. So let me go back and I'll press play. Okay, so now we get this zoom in. See, it's like zooming in really fast and it slows down. Alright? So that's how we do an ease in. Right, the camera is easing into that shot. Alright? If I didn't want it to be very fast from 1 to frame 24, I can just move that particular key a little bit closer. So instead of having it at frame 38 or at frame 24, I'll move it to frame 30. So let's click play. Alright, this is how we do an ease in. Okay? So what I like to do is save these particular play blasts so I can look at them all together. So I go to play blast option box, save to file, I'll click on browse, and I'm going to go to my previous project folder. I'll click on the clips folder and I'll save this as shot 1. I'll click save and I'll play blast it. So now when I go to my project folder, it's on my desktop, yours will be on the server. Under my clips folder I have that shot. Okay? And then eventually we'll add characters and put them in there. Alright? My second shot that I'm going to work on right now is change the camera angle to shot 2. And I'll click on the word view, select camera. Now it's going to select my camera 1 or my camera 2. Now in this particular scene, if I go to my storyboards, it tells me that the camera zooms out. Okay, the camera zooms out. Now the effect that I want to get in this particular shot is going to be this really dynamic camera angle. So for that, I'm going to look through my perspective camera. I'm going to grab my Hollywood camera set, right? And I'll move it over here. Kind of align it right where the other camera was. I'll select this arrow and I'm actually going to delete the keys that I had on there before. I'll change the boom tilt so it's right there. Alright, I'll look through that camera. So panels, perspective, dolly cam. So I know I need to change the focal length. Alright, that's a camera twist. I'll make that 0. Focal length. Zoom out a little bit. Okay. I'll turn on the resolution gate. I'll change the camera tilt to 0, the camera pan to 0. Alright, perfect. So this is the shot that I want. I want the camera, the dolly, to zoom out. Alright. So I want my dolly move to zoom out like this. I want my dolly move to zoom out like this, right? To pan out. So dolly move, it goes from here to here, and then I want to zoom in. So it's going to create this really weird Alfred Hitchcock, like psycho kind of effect. So let's do this. Zoom in. Let's select that. Okay. So I'm going to move the translate Z this way, and then I'm going to zoom in. Alright, so let's do that. So press S to set a key there. I know it's 2 seconds. I go to frame 48, and then I'll move it back like this. Okay? So let's look at what that looks like. Let's look through here. I'll press play. Alright, I don't know why it's doing that. So let's press play here. Alright, so that's the movement. I don't think it's too fast. I think it's a nice speed. Alright? And next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change my focus. Alright, so I'm going to zoom in while it is panning out. So I'll just press S. I go to frame 48, and I'll change my focal length to zoom in. Like this. So all the students are kind of like looking at me. And maybe I think I will, I think that's good. Alright, so let's see what that looks like. You see that? So the camera is moving backwards, but I'm focusing in, so it looks like everything is squeezing. It's this really cool effect. Alright. So again, this is going backwards while the camera is focusing in. Alright. Alright, so that's my second shot. I'm happy with this. I'm going to go to Windows. So I'm looking through that camera. Windows, Play Blast option box. This is also frame 1 to 48. And then I will go here to Browse. And I'll call this shot 2. And then I'll click Save. Play Blast. And then I'll click Play. Alright. So we're working on the camera timing. And after we get the camera timing to look perfect, then we'll add our characters and animate the characters moving around that environment. Alright, because the characters have to move at the same speed as the camera. Alright, so there are a few other shots that we have to add to this particular previs project to make it complete, but those are just 2 shots, and that's how you set up your cameras, and that's it.